You ever feel like you bought your home, but the HOA act like they're the real owners? That is exactly what it feels like around here sometimes. You pay the mortgage, you pay the taxes, but then come the real boss, the HOA. And lately, stories are blowing up. People are losing homes over something as simple as what they put in their yard. Imagine getting a massive fine for customizing your driveway a little bit. Entire HOA boards have been caught siphoning millions from their own communities. Sounds unbelievable, right? Now, Florida lawmakers have introduced a bill that could finally put a stop to it, and let's just say a lot of HOAs are feeling the heat. So, in this video today, I'm going to break down the brand new law that's going to strip HOA of their unchecked power. We're talking real life stories and the scams you wouldn't believe, and why the bill could finally give homeowners, people like you and me, our neighborhoods back. Stick with me because at the end of this video, you'll know exactly how this law would protect you and what sneaky loopholes you need to watch out for. Let's start with the basics. HOAs were supposed to make life a lot easier for us, keep the communities nice, and protect property values. But what they have become in many places is just a second layer of control. Paint your door the wrong shade, you get a fine. Leave your trash bins out overnight, fine. Add a red diamond to your driveway, that would be $1,000. True story. Remember the case of a homeowner who put a few garden gnomes in her yard? Those small decorations led to repeated fine, which eventually escalated into foreclosure threats all over yard decorations. How does that even make any sense? You know, when you live in an HOA, sometimes it could feel less like ownership and more like you have a second landlord, one you never voted for or can't get rid of. That's why people are so fed up. And if you think fines are bad, wait until you hear about the fraud. In a Miami Hamhocks HOA, board members stole over $6 million. They created fake companies, billed the HOA for fake services, and funneled the money into their own pockets. Meanwhile, homeowners kept seeing their fees go up. In Tarpon Springs, an account manager wrote herself fake checks. $750,000 gone. Spent on football tickets, groceries, and credit cards. In Samoa County, a manager dipped into the HOA bank account for $437,000, which was spent on rent, car repairs, even family handouts, all with homeowners' money. Unfortunately, these are not rare cases. They're what happens when boards have power with no oversight. And that's where Florida's new bill steps in. So the new bill is House Bill 983. It was introduced by Representative Juan Carlos. It's designed to give power back to homeowners. Here's what it does. It will kick out bad board members fast. If most homeowners agree someone needs to go, they're out. No endless hoops or roadblocks. No more hidden rules. Buyers must get the HOA documents up front so there's no nasty surprises after closing. If there is fraud or shady spending, law enforcement can now step in instead of leaving it up to the HOA to police themselves. More transparency. HOAs will now have to post meeting agendas online at least 14 days in advance, which will give residents time to prepare and speak up. Fair elections. No more nominating committees blocking homeowners. If you live there and you pay dues, you get a fair shot at running. Sounds like a dream, right? But HOAs aren't just rolling over. They're already arguing that this law will create more lawsuits, more costs, and more headaches. And then there's Kaufman language. That's a little clause that's buried in HOA documents. If your HOA doesn't have it, they can claim new state laws doesn't apply to them. That actually happened to someone in Sarasota County. A man parked his truck in his driveway, totally legal under the new state law. His HOA, though, fined him $100 a night because they claim that the law doesn't count since their documents did not have the Kaufman language.
Ryan McIntyre, who goes by Mac, loves his 2014 Chevy Silverado pickup. His truck doesn't easily fit into his garage, and
I cannot park my own truck in my own driveway.
his subdivision, The Meadows, doesn't allow pickup trucks or commercial vehicles in their driveways between 11 p.m. and 5 a.m. based on rules written in 1976, before Jimmy Carter first took office. Violators caught by the association's nightly safety patrol face warning letters, fines, and can be towed out of their own driveways. Mack agreed to the rules when he moved into the neighborhood in 2019, but hoped a new law would change that. Meadows residents got this email days before the law went into effect saying, quote, all current parking rules and regulations will remain the same.
They got ahead of it and said, no, we're going to keep everything the same way. So we're ended up with more questions than answers at this point.
They've also sent out reminders after the law went into effect that the application of the new law depends on the governing language of the community association and the time it was recorded. The email referred to something called Kaufman language.
And that's why this bill will matter so much, because HOAs keep playing word games and homeowners keep losing. Here's the truth though, HOAs can work when they're fair, transparent, and run by people who care. But too often they turn into little dictatorships. This House bill could be the first step to balancing that power. But watch the politicians, because sometimes they water the bill down behind closed doors. They'll get credit for supporting it, but they'll quietly remove the parts that will create the most impact. And that's exactly why this can't just be brushed off. Homeowners have got to pay attention. At the end of the day, your home should feel like yours, not like you're renting it from a board of neighbors. If this law passes, it will finally put the power back where it belongs, to homeowners. Got an HOA story? Drop it in the comments. I would love to hear it. And if you want updates on what's happening in Florida housing and how it affects you, hit subscribe and stick around, because this fight is just getting started.